Coffee has been in Ghana for as long as cocoa, but Ghana is known mainly for the production of its cocoa. Unfortunately, coffee was left on the sidelines. Even though cocoa was being produced, coffee was also being produced alongside cocoa by our farmers. But somewhere along the early 1970s, the government of Ghana realized the need to diversify. So it started promoting the cultivation of coffee, and through massive campaigns, advised farmers, cocoa farmers, to at least have half a hectare of coffee alongside their cocoa farms. This program went on very well, and most farmers bought into it. And the Ghana Cocoa Board itself set up a subsidiary company that was responsible for developing coffee and cocoa plantations. And through that, Ghana had 19 very large-scale coffee plantations. And for the first time in 1999, Ghana was able to export about 10,000 metric tons of Robusta coffee. But unfortunately for the coffee sector, that was followed immediately by the coffee crisis. So the farmers lost interest, there were no buyers for their coffee, and most of them abandoned their farms. And Cocoa Board itself, divested the large plantations that it had established through the Cocoa Board plantations. However, with the revival of coffee prices since 2005, the government of Ghana has once again charged Ghana Cocoa Board to make efforts to revamp the coffee industry. So, at the beginning of this year, precisely February 2008, a national coffee stakeholders meeting was organized in Accra, and this meeting was facilitated by Cafe Africa. And as a fallout of this meeting, a national coffee steering committee was formed in April 2008. And the mandate of the committee was to develop strategies to revamp the coffee industry in Ghana. What has been done from April until now is to develop the coffee wood gardens that were established earlier on in the mid-80s to provide planting materials for farmers. So some of them are being rehabilitated so that planting materials could be given to our farmers. Fortunately for Ghana, when this crisis came up and farmers lost interest, scientific research didn't stop. Scientific research on coffee didn't stop. So as I speak now, our scientific researchers are at the verge of releasing hybrid coffee planting materials that are high yielding to farmers who will be interested to go back into coffee farming. Again, because of the problem that we have in the crisis, the marketing sector collapsed completely. So we are also re-registering our coffee license buyers. In fact, the coffee buying is completely privatized, unlike cocoa. But the problem was that those that exported their coffee never gave Cocoa Board any feedback of the volumes of coffee that was exported. So we're trying through the National Steering Committee and Ghana Cocoa and Coffee Board to streamline that, to register all the licensed buying agencies and to monitor the coffees that are exported from the country. Again, the extension wing of Ghana Cocoa Board, that is also responsible for coffee extension, is being intensified with this National Steering Committee. And the strategy is that we have targeted areas that have comparative advantage for coffee production. Not all the areas in Ghana are good for cocoa and coffee. So the areas that have very good comparative advantage of coffee production, we are targeting those areas and supporting those farmers through extension advice to get back into serious coffee production. Again, the quality control units of Ghana Cocoa and Coffee Board is also being tasked to ensure that coffee exported from Ghana, are pass through the quality checks so that they conform and meet the standards that have been set. One significant aspect of this National Steering Committee was the preparation of a budget for revamping the coffee sector in those strategic areas, and that has been submitted to government. For now, we are riding on the back of cocoa money to support coffee. And we know that with the efforts that are being made and with the goodwill of the Chief Executive of Ghana Cocoa Board and the government of Ghana, we know that we are going to get there. Since we started, the coffee prices started recovering, the production that went as low as about 500 metric tons has now shot up a bit. It's now tripled as I speak now. And we believe that with the sustenance of the prices that we see on the market now, our farmers, those who abandon their farms, are going to go back to it. I must stress that coffee is in serious competition with other commodities. And therefore, whether farmers will remain in it or not, it depends on the prices that they earn. But we are hoping that with the strategies that we have adopted, where we promoting the coffee in areas where coffee has a comparative advantage, we are going to get there.